Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly intuitive card reading for June 5th through the 11th, the first full week of June. I'm excited to see what's in store for us for this first week. I hope you guys enjoyed the monthly. Before I jump right into the reading, please subscribe to my channel, guys. I would really appreciate it. Please like this video if it resonates with you. If you like this kind of content, that would be really appreciative. And also any comments, questions, feedback, anything, please put them below down in the comments. I respond and read everyone. So please, I'd love to hear from you, but just be kind is just all I ask. So just be mindful. But okay, guys, I think that's it. Let's just jump right into the reading here and see what we have for the week. I'm using the same I use Oracle. I've been using Oracle cards, and I'm using the same 4 decks as I've been using. I mixed up the order a bit, and so I'm just excited to kind of see what the week has in store. So let's begin. Okay, so what do we need, guys? All right, so we have the God archetype, shadow, despotism, and cruelty, using power to control people. Okay, so that's very interesting. We've got some control issues coming up through the need. And so obviously we don't need the control issues, but basically Spirit is coming through and saying, like, don't act like, playing God to me feels like, trying to control everything, trying to dictate everything, like that kind of thing. So definitely watch out for any controlling behaviors that start to come through. The way that this is feeling to me is, obviously trying to control all outcomes, all situations, but almost to the point of like the vision I'm getting is like getting like really strict with diet, and like getting like really strict with yourself, and trying to kind of control, going down to the nitty gritty of counting every calorie, like that kind of thing. Obviously this is not going to be the situation for everybody in the collective, but that's like an example of like how it gets like too controlling for you in some way, shape, or form. So just watch out for that, because I definitely do feel like that need to control things, but Spirit is saying, no. What your soul needs is really to kind of let up on that control and just kind of let loose a little bit. So I'm interested to kind of see what the action needed says here about bouncing off that energy. Okay, we have claircognizant. Pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. Guys, I'm biased a little bit with intuition, right? And claircognizance is our gift, our intuitive gift of inner knowing. So coming next to the need here, connected to that, it's just kind of like, what's too much, you're gonna, like, I feel like this intuitive, I'm biased because I really believe intuition is like obviously our God-given gift, but it's so important in so many different ways. And it's not just, quote unquote, seeing the future, which, is kind of, I don't want to say nonsense, but it's about reading the energy and working with the energy, but it's also about, you have different avenues, different channels of receiving communication, and knowing is the one that always kind of gets passed up. I've been getting a lot of knowing, inner knowing cards lately, in the monthlies and the weeklies, in the dailies, even in the dailies. And so this to me is just saying that our inner knowing is getting stronger. And basically it's going to help with that need to control this week, okay? So pay attention to that. When you're going too far is basically what Spirit is trying to say. All right, let's see. Issues, kind of piggybacking off of that. Trust your talents in changing times. Okay, so this Spirit Fox is always about being adaptable, being able to kind of change on a dime, being able to, I don't want to say blend in, but being able to be, quick on your feet kind of deal. And so it definitely feels like when it's coming up in the issue slot here is that we might have issues with that. So it's really important that you are adaptable this week. This tells me that something may not go our way, and we have to be very quick and swift, on our feet, and maneuver and pivot differently, okay? There was a daily card kind of, I think it was maybe a week ago or so, about pivoting when things are not necessarily going our way, or things feel hard, or things are being forced. So the Spirit Fox is definitely telling me like it could feel like an issue that might have something to do with this control energy that's kind of coming in, your need to really kind of control things. And so when things don't go your way, obviously you want to kind of control them, and you might veer off into that territory rather than be very adaptable and flexible and kind of like let go and just go with the flow. So that I could definitely see that as that conflict. So guys, it might be a little bit of an issue, even if I'm even talking to people that tend to be more adaptable, which I actually put myself in that category. I tend to be a little bit more flexible, a little bit more adaptable, but I could definitely see this energy kind of coming in and kind of messing with that. So it's kind of going to be like, your need for control versus versus your adaptability, essentially. Okay, surprise, time for a nap. Okay, yay, this is great, because time for a nap means taking a rest, taking a break. And so it feels like many of us need it. And so surprisingly, because I definitely do, I'm not going to lie, I feel this kind of busy energy. So I'm actually interested to kind of see the rest of the reading. But I definitely do feel like this first week of June is kind of like a go, go, go kind of situation. Like I said, we'll see the rest of the cards. But, well, actually it does make sense, because if it's under surprise, it's like, surprise, you're going to have more free time. You're going to have more free time than you realize. And so this could actually be linked to being adaptable, because maybe something gets canceled or something, and then you actually have free time to do something, and that would be rest or take a break or whatever it is, or actually take a nap. So it may look like a busy week now, but something tells me, plans might be canceled, or you have an opening in your schedule to rest. And that's a positive thing, okay? Let's see what's challenging this week. We have scribe, preserving knowledge and information. Okay, so this is about, there's something here about the scribe to me is writing recollection of information. So it definitely does feel like in some type of way, and I'm really, really curious, so don't forget to put in the comments, guys, as the week goes on, how this manifests for you guys, because it almost feels like the challenge is kind of remembering something correctly, or having a recollection of something, or something about memories, not necessarily being able to and I feel like nostalgia is in here somewhere. So this is a very interesting read that's kind of coming from this card, because it's like we're unable to recall important information. That's what it feels like information about ourselves, information maybe about our childhood, information about, I don't know, a past work event. I don't know. It's something in that area. And so in some way, shape, or form, it's going to be challenging to us. And I have to say this, it does feel more so work related. Obviously it'll be personal for some of you guys. I am reading for the collective, so that's a large amount of people, so it's not gonna all connect with all of you on a professional basis, but I definitely do feel like it's something in that area that might pose a challenge in some type of way. So very interested to kind of see how that manifests for you guys. Like I said, put in the comments, I'd love to hear it. Okay, you guys, I'm actually not shocked that this is coming up. This is interesting, because when I was shuffling the deck, I always pre-shuffle. This card, it didn't jump out. It wasn't a jumper, but it was at the bottom of the deck, and it just caught my attention. Like, it really just caught my attention. And so basically, indigo and crystal, children, you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. Okay, so I definitely do feel like there's this focus on, not necessarily, yeah, it could mean for some of you guys like working on your inner child, but it definitely does feel like in some way, shape, or form, children are going to play a big part in our week in some type of way. So I know these two in a row are kind of very interesting reads. So again, please guys, let me know how it manifests for you in the comments. I'm very curious with this. I don't have too many, I don't have like a lot of nieces, a lot of nephews. I don't have a lot of children around me, but the idea of, and not just children, like sensitive children, indigo children, which are, to me, an indigo is somebody that is a soul. I call it a type of empath that really is born onto the earth to shift consciousness and make change and create change and move towards that. And so this could also just be, focusing on that in you, because of the inner child thing. Like if you're an indigo, if you identify with being an indigo, you were an indigo child as well, right? So you're just older now, right? So that could also be focusing on that indigo part of yourself. And I know that this is so on point because I've also noticed on my Instagram, a lot of people have been sharing my indigo post lately. I always pay attention to what gets more like randomly. It's not like I posted it probably like years ago, and for some reason people keep sharing my indigo post, and so that tells me that a lot of people are reconnecting as the collective to the indigo part of themselves, which is always creating conscious change and moving things forward in life. And so there's something around children that are discovering this gift this week, reflecting. I know it's not on the reflective spot, but it is next to it. Reflecting on how you were like that as a child, how to go in a direction of creating conscious change. Are you doing that? And don't forget, guys, it was either the monthly or the weekly, but I have been getting this feeling of checking in, because we're in June. June is, in another week, it'll be pretty much halfway through the year. And so sometimes around this time, we start to reflect and say, okay, am I making my goals for the year? Where am I? Am I being intentional? Am I doing the things that I want to be doing? And so it's not shocking that this is kind of coming up in the focus where it's saying like, am I creating the change that I want to be creating and making? And it's kind of like this, it's part of that check-in. I think I called it like a check-in last time. And so that's part of it. So it's either going to be actual children, creating change in some type of way, meeting an indigo child, that's a little bit more specific, or just kind of looking back and getting in touch with that, that indigo within you. So I know that's kind of a little out there, but I'm not shocked that came up. Like I said, when I was shuffling the cards, I could see that card. And like I said, the indigo, I'm telling you, my posts, I pay attention as the collective. Random people find me and then they reshare the same thing over and over again. Yes, I know algorithm is part of it, but there's a reason why this is happening. Okay, so very, very interesting stuff. So again, very curious to see how it manifests for people. Okay, reflect. Okay, so connect with your emotions. So definitely it feels like, even though I'm still feeling kind of like that go-go energy, and sometimes I describe weeks as like action versus inaction, this definitely feels more actionable, but what feels what's kind of coming up here with this reflective is that we're connecting with our emotions. So I definitely do feel like it's an emotional week, and that requires obviously introspective work, not necessarily working with other people on that. This is really feeling your own feelings, so it doesn't require other people. But I definitely do feel like we're processing the things this week that maybe we haven't been able to process before. And I really do think this has, again, something to do with kind of checking in halfway through the year. And so we're kind of like reflecting on that. So feel your feelings this week, people. And all weeks, because I'm also biased because I'm an empath. So I feel everything all the time. And so I kind of want people to feel things all the time with me. So, okay, we have responsibilities. We have the why. Okay, so this is always about asking questions, asking the right type of questions. And so it coming under the responsibilities is really important, because this is saying before you do anything, make sure you have a lot of your questions answered. If you're buying a new car, make sure you have asked everything. This is not, this is almost like, I know I just said earlier, I'm a little bit biased on intuition, and I am. However, discernment is also part of things. Cognitive processing is part of things. Using your brain, questioning things. That is part of it. And so it's not necessarily Spirit saying, okay, if you have to buy this new car, using your intuition with it. Spirit is, I don't want to say warning us, but again, I do these cards because we want to work with the energy. And so the energy, Spirit, is basically coming through and saying, you need to ask all the questions, okay? Because there's something here that you need to kind of pay attention to. So ask as many questions as possible, whether you're buying a car, whether you're buying a home, whether you're going on a trip with somebody, for the weekend, whatever it actually is. Ask lots of questions, okay? I think you guys understand. Okay, money and finances. I also put career in here too. We have servant, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. Okay, awesome. So I definitely do feel like, I almost want to say, again, this is for the collective, so it's a, you know, it's a large amount of you, but I would say most of you guys, I almost want to say money is not an object this week. Like it's not not something that is top of mind or a priority for you, or an issue in some type of way. If some of you guys are watching this and you're like, oh, well, I'm having a hard time paying my rent. Like I said, it feels like the majority of you guys, but what I mean by this is like, maybe not that it's not an object, but it's not, you know, this week you're not focused necessarily on how much money I can bring in. It's more about how much I could serve and do things from the heart, right? Because servant is, it's not, this is not in a negative way that it's coming up. It's basically like saying like, how can I serve? But also, you know, get, you know, receive money back, obviously. But it doesn't, like, it basically saying like, it's the delight in serving others. It's the pleasure in serving others, basically. So it definitely does feel like anybody, by the way, that's in more of a service type role, actual servers like waitresses, you know, waiters, bartenders, pet sitters, cleaning people, you know, anybody that actually does like an actual physical service for others. I feel like it's like a good week for you guys. Like, I'm just gonna say that's the feeling that I'm getting. And what I mean by good week, yes, finances can be accompanied with that, but I do mean like getting you back in touch with the actual art of service, like of why you're in the industry to begin with. Okay, so I definitely feel like that's like a good thing for, because I know a lot of you guys are out, you know, out there in the service industry. I was in the service industry for many, many years. Okay, change, career transition. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. Interesting. Funny that it is under change. So I'm gonna say straight out, a lot of you guys are thinking about a career change. Again, I do feel like this is a little bit more, you know, we're more than halfway through. It feels like a busy type energy this week, but I don't feel like this is actually coming into fruition in an environmental and physical way. It just feels like the energy of change, meaning that you're thinking about a career change. You're wondering if you should go in a, you know, in a different direction or that kind of thing. And you're, I mean, I don't think there's too much to say about it. I feel like it's thinking about it, and the how do I say this? The energy, the wheel of energy. No, that's not what I want to say. Basically, I'm trying to say like the wheels are turning on the energy. That's what I want to say. That it's starting to become something that you're really going to take action on, basically, as opposed to taking action this week. So figuring that out basically is part of this week. So yeah, there's not too much I can say about that, but yeah, a lot of you are going to be, you know, looking to transition. Okay, friends, we have Sun, enjoy success and happiness. Yes, this is, honestly, this is where all the busyness that I feel is coming through. So I've been kind of waiting for a card that says like, oh my gosh, like the social energy that I'm feeling. Yeah, like that's the busyness that I'm feeling, guys. It's like, you know, maybe I wasn't clear yet, but it's definitely clear here. Is it feels busy in the way of socializing, connecting with people that you haven't connected with in a long time. Going out there and having fun with your friends. Don't discount friends, guys. I know life is really hard. I say it all the time. If you've been following me for a long time, life is suffering. And that's not to be negative, because I run not shockingly, annoyingly optimistic, okay? So it's really about moving forward, like how we move forward and how we could see that the horrible things that happen to us are always happening for us, but again, if you're kind of going through a journey like that and you're not ready to hear that, I totally understand it. But anyway, I'm kind of going off on a tangent because I really do feel a lot of you guys need to hear that. But with this, friends, and enjoy success and happiness with the sun, like there's literally just pure joy. So when things are good, celebrate them. Hang out with the people, with your people. Hang out with people that make you laugh until your stomach hurts, okay? And this week is highlighting that. So don't discount that. If you feel you don't have time, which this surprise tells me that we're going to get a break. So something tells me, yes, if you're an introvert, it might be a little bit of, an energy drain. Even guys, that's what people don't really understand. Yes, these people could energize you, but still you have a social battery that, it might drain more than other people. But use your discernment, obviously. Ask many questions. Can I take my own car? Can I leave early if I need to? Who's going to be there? Like that kind of stuff. But you may want to, if like rest, like this might be, I'm trying to say, sorry guys, I'm trying to say that it might be part of the rest, okay? Hanging out with friends that, that really energize you, okay? So I'll leave it at that. But let's see what our romantic connections are here. Okay, building blocks. Awesome. Okay, so I feel positive week for romantic connections. I feel that if you guys are coupled up, it feels like this rebuilding of whether it be trust or the relationship in some type of way. Like I definitely do feel like this new energy kind of coming through for people that are already coupled up. So I definitely do feel like the relationship is going to feel new or exciting. In not to say that your relationships are not exciting, but there's going to be like kind of like this new element of building together. And that will, be different for a lot of, for different people. But if you're single, it definitely does feel like it's time to start building towards something. So, and I think last week too was good as well. I don't necessarily remember what the monthly said for June, but again, first full week of June, it feels like a positive time for single people to, start to date, maybe, dip your toes in the water, see what it's like again. But it's a lucrative week for dating, and definitely that wanting to build with somebody type energy. And so meeting somebody of substance is favored this week. So that's great. Okay, what's important to know? I feel like everything's important to know, right? But we have vampire. Okay, so depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. Important. Okay, so this kind of goes a little bit here. With this vampire, to me, I call them energy vampires, people that kind of just suck your energy. So just be careful of that, okay? It's important to pay attention to those types of people. Like I said, this is actually the first type of energy that I'm actually kind of getting from the reading. So I will say this, it doesn't feel like it's overpowering this week, meaning like you've got energy vampires kind of coming out of the woodwork trying to, drain you. Energy vampire to me means maybe narcissistic people, negative people, people that are always complaining or extremely pessimistic or whatever it actually is. It doesn't necessarily feel like they're like coming out of the woodwork, but there's a reason it's coming up in the important slot where Spirit is kind of saying, just, be mindful of that. And so that's part of the asking the questions, like I said, about who's going to be at the social events and that type of thing. And then whether you can, when you get that break, whether you want to kind of spend your, be mindful of your time, of where you spend your time and energy when you do get that break. And so just be careful. It's just, honestly, it feels minor. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like it definitely does feel minor. So, don't get too worried about that. Okay. Health and wellness. We have comfort. I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. Awesome. Okay, so health and wellness could be physical wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, mental wellness, all of the above. And so Beth, guys, sorry. Comfort to me means a really positive thing, means that you will find comfort in yourself. Like, it's going to be a comfortable week. This could manifest so many different ways. If you are going through chronic illness, I'm not a doctor, but and Spirit usually never, with some exceptions, but never comes through really with like, physical healing information, at least for me. But I definitely do feel like, if you are going through a chronic illness journey, this could be something where it feels more comfortable this week for you, in some way, shape, or form. Comfortable could be emotionally comfortable because maybe you've processed everything here under this Water Guardian, and you're feeling more comfortable in your own skin. You're feeling more comfortable to be around people, because you've worked on your mental health, whatever it is. Comfort to me, positive thing. Another great week for, I believe last week was also good, for health, wellness. I almost want to say soul wellness. Is that a cool phrase? Soul wellness for your soul. So encompassing everything from a holistic perspective, everything looks great. Okay, and then overall outcome, what do we have? Animal guardian, trust your instincts. Okay, we have another guardian card. Interesting. Okay, so for me, instincts means intuition. It just means more so instincts on a bodily level from more like a biological perspective. But still same thing, right? Intuition is always felt in the gut. That's a body, that's what do you call that? Like your body reacts, a body reaction basically. Excuse me. And so basically what I'm getting from this is, yes, like I said, I know I started out with talking there. I mean, there is an intuitive gift here. There's claircognizance, it's our inner knowing. And so I definitely feel like that's part of it, and that's under the action needed. So if we're actually taking action on anything this week, it's that. And then obviously the focus is the other one. So definitely it is a week of listening to your instinct / intuition. I don't want you guys to be irresponsible and not ask the questions, though. That's what Spirit is coming through. So please, please, please remember that one. But it definitely does feel like it feels, to me, it's saying more embodied in your intuition. That's how it feels to me, meaning like more comfortable, and being next to the comfort makes a lot of sense to me. So being more comfortable getting into this inner knowing, being more comfortable listening to your gut feelings, being more comfortable as things become easier. Because if you guys have noticed and been following me for a while or listened to some of my other videos, I talk a lot about flow and alignment. Flow and alignment to me, flow state is kind of similar to what I'm talking about, because flow state is basically getting in the zone. You're getting into a place where purpose and passion kind of meets, and time, you lose time. But alignment is more so when you're not forcing things so much, and basically, how do you get into alignment? It's honestly pretty simple. You just keep making decisions that keep feeling good to you on a soul level. That's really it. Okay, and so you just keep making those decisions, and then all of a sudden you find out that you've built this life that is in alignment with you. And so to me, that's an intuitive act. Like, you have to continue to listen to your intuition and what feels good, what is good, what and when I say feels good, it means it feels like it resonates with your soul, right? And so by continuing to do that, by small decisions, here and there, you start building this life that feels really good to you, that you don't need to escape from, that you don't need a vacation from, or whatever. And so it definitely does feel like we're starting this journey, we're restarting this journey. And so a lot of us have been knocked down, including myself, whether it's been years or months or the last couple of weeks, it felt like that for us. We are kind of rebuilding in this way. I've been getting this old life, new life energy I've been talking about for like a long time. And so this definitely does feel like we're finally starting to make those decisions, because it doesn't happen right away. It's one decision after the other, one small decision after the other. And so it definitely does feel like we're on our way. And this week we can see the fruits of our labor. That's what it feels like to me. And so I think it's just so important for a lot of people that feel like, okay, this change is not necessarily happening for me, but it has been happening for you. There's a reason why I've been doing reading after reading after reading and feeling like we're in this limbo type. It's because we're not there yet, but it's because these small decisions are what makes up the change, right? It's kind of like if you think of like a weight loss journey, you don't just lose all the weight tomorrow. It just doesn't happen that way. And so, that's just not how it happens. And so, this is about making the small steps and celebrating the small steps, moving towards, the life that you want. And so I just see it as super positive. I actually want to say this week is amazing. I'm just going to throw that out there. The only thing that I see that's kind of like a dark cloud is this vampire, but it's so minor. It's so minor. Like I said, I don't even know if some of you are going to even feel that this week. It feels that minor. And so, it looks like a great week. So guys, take the time to have fun. Okay. Don't forget this one. I would say if anything is most important, let me take my hair out of here. It's this one, okay? And oh yeah, I forgot about this guy up here. The need to control, but I feel like you guys kind of have it under control when you use your intuition, right? Have your did you hear what I said? Have your control issues under control. What an oxymoron, right? Okay, guys, you listen to the reading, you get it. What a wonderful week, a blessed week. I'm so excited for it. Again, so interested to kind of see how it manifests for you guys. So put it down below. And that's it, guys. Have a wonderful, fabulous week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.